Hello and welcome to Experiencing Love. I'm your host, Philip Jocks, and I'm so glad that you're here. I really am glad that you're here. I'm really glad that you're sticking around, and if you're new, I hope you do stay. I hope you do stick around, because this is a place where I teeter between working hard and having fun. It's a place where I want more for myself and the people around me and the people in my life, and I also want to remind you that we only have one chance at this life. We're only here once. We're only here in this place in this time once. So don't waste it, whatever wasting looks like to you. If that means you have to work harder, work harder. But if that means you need to have some fun, you need to enjoy the people around you, share some laughs, share some love, do it. Because every second that goes by, every minute, every day, it's time you won't get back. When I speak about this, I speak from my heart because deep in my heart, I know that if I don't do this right, if I don't enjoy this process of being alive, of experiencing the world, I know I'll reach the end of my life. I'll be on my deathbed with this ache, with this feeling like I wish I enjoyed it more. And when I say have fun, it really doesn't mean do crazy stuff. It really doesn't mean going on adventures all the time or slacking off or whatever it is. Having fun to me really just means that whatever it is that you're doing, it's something that you enjoy. You can have fun and do work at the same time. I also know that it's very likely to do work and not enjoy it, and that's one of the many drains in our lives. I think there's more drains than there are sources of energy in our life, and it's very important to avoid the drains as much as possible. I used to have this coach who shared this insight when it comes to doing tasks, when it comes to to-do lists, really. And she said it's very important to take your to-do list and categorize them into the 4 Ds. I like to start with the delete it column. First column is all about the things that aren't really important, aren't really urgent, and really don't fulfill us, really don't serve as a source of energy. It serves as our drains. These are the types of things that you delete. Just get rid of them. There's many ways to get rid of things, but in this column, it's the stuff that no one else relies on you for. It's more just a personal thing that's been dragging you down for way too long. The next category is delegate. In the delegate column goes things that you can have someone else do. Part of thinking rich and living rich is not just about having wealth, having money, but it's also about buying back your time. A simple way to do that is get other people to do the things that you don't want to do. Hire someone. You can hire someone to do your laundry or go grocery shopping. You can hire someone to do those tasks at work that make you want to rip your hair out because of how mundane, how boring, how tedious it may be. You can hire someone like a family member to watch a dog or to babysit your child. And the point being that whatever it is that you don't enjoy, have someone else do it if it's possible. The third D, delay, which is whatever's maybe important but not as urgent, right? This is the type of stuff that you may want to push off just a little bit. You may want to move it to next week, to 2-3 weeks from now. It's important, but they're not crucial to what's happening right now. And if it's something that you have to do, delay it. It doesn't have to be today. If it's causing you stress, if it's causing a drain in your life, move it. And the last category is do it, which is quite obvious. It's all the stuff that's the most important to you. It may be urgent to you, and it's the category that has to get done by your hands, right? You've committed to something, you've committed to showing up for someone, or you know that you need to do a certain thing on your rest day so that you feel the best, right? This is the stuff that you have to do, and that's the stuff you should be prioritizing. A lot of people don't do this categorization. They don't look at all the stuff that they have to do and decide, what do they really want to do? What's the 20% that really matters? And they try to do it all, get burnt out, and it's just a very uncomfortable cycle. Of course, anytime I speak of any of these things, it's because it's from experience. It's from my own life where I've noticed having too much stuff on my plate and learning the joy and the beauty of saying no, of having someone else take care of something, of taking the weight off my shoulders so that I can breathe a little bit easier. I really just want to enjoy my life. I really want to enjoy how I do things. There's these times where I'm stressing about little things, like I'm talking things that just make me laugh, when I'm objectively thinking about them. But in the moment, I'm genuinely stressed, genuinely afraid. And in those moments, whatever it may be, I remind myself of what my reality is. I ask myself, okay, these are all things I'm afraid of, but how many of them are actually real? How many of them are things that are happening right now? And how many of them are things that I'm afraid will happen, but haven't happened yet? If they haven't happened yet, I release them. I get rid of them. They're out of my mind. If they've already happened, then I'm less afraid about them and I'm more in a proactive state where I'm going to do what I can to recover, to fix whatever it is that's wrong. But oftentimes, there's actually nothing wrong. There's only a fear of the future. And so when I release those fears, when I release that stress, I just feel much lighter. I feel much better. And I remind myself what's true right now. Back to the whole reality thing. What's my reality right now? Well, if I ask myself that question right now, I'm sitting here in my room. I'm recording a video. There's lights on. The sun is out. My blinds are open. This microphone is on. They're very factual statements, and I just keep going down that train of thought. I'm healthy. I have a lot of energy. I slept well last night. I went exercising yesterday. I plan to talk to friends today. I ran some errands today. I keep going on and on in this fashion to ground myself in reality, in the truth. Not what I think the future is going to be like, but what the present is actually like. I found very often that the more I feared something, the more likely it was to happen. So the more I stressed, the more I was afraid, the more I experienced those things that I was afraid of. But then when I stopped stressing about them and I learned that I'll be okay, even if those things happened, I'll find a way through. I'll be fine. They actually started to happen less. And instead I found more moments of these blissful moments or content moments or happy moments, excited moments, because I spent less time being afraid and more time loving my life, loving my existence, loving just being here, being present, being in this reality. And I do acknowledge its impact on my life. I noticed that living this way does take away this one source of drive that I have in my life. When you get rid of fear, when you get rid of many stresses in your life, you'll discover this very powerful experience, but also this realization where you see just how much of your life was motivated by fear. Motivating yourself by love is a very different thing. It's a very different skill set you have to work on, you have to build, you have to practice. Because often I don't feel that level of fear anymore. I don't feel that level of stress because I have many different ways to get rid of it, to take care of myself, to rest, to relax, to recover. But in order to still do something, you need to have that drive, that motivation, that reason. Most importantly is the reason why. Why are you moving forward? And if it's not fear, it's got to be love. I found that love, when you really tap into it, is much more powerful than fear. Fear is like a sprint. It doesn't last long. It's definitely very fast, but it tires you out much sooner. Love is like a marathon. Love is a bit slower, but it lasts a whole lot longer. It's more consistent, and it'll get you much further. So training for a marathon is definitely much different than training for a sprint. And coming from someone who used to sprint all the time, starting to train for a marathon took a lot of practice. It took a lot of practice when I was running to not subconsciously start sprinting, to purposely slow myself down. I think that's why when I make these videos, I'm in a different headspace, and I've made more episodes of this than I have of anything else in my life. This is the 203rd episode, I believe. And I know that I show no signs within myself of stopping because I've set myself up for a marathon of love. That's slow, it's steady, and it goes further than I've ever been before. I've had sprints of making videos before where I was guided by fear, knowing that if these videos don't work, if they don't gain traction and find people, then my next steps are going to fail. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened. They didn't pick up, not in the ways that I wanted it to, and I was just left disappointed in myself. I really do love this marathon that I'm on. Because I'm able to run slower, I'm able to see the things that I pass by more clearly, with more admiration, with more respect, and I want to keep running. I want to keep running at my own pace, knowing that eventually I will run past all the sprinters who are now sitting down, who are tired, who are on the side. And I'm going to be that marathoner that smoothly jogs past them, ready to make it miles upon miles ahead of them. And I use this running analogy to describe how I make videos, but you can use it in any area of your life. You could use it with relationships. You can use it with your fitness. You can use it with your business. You don't have to rush. You don't have to sprint to get to the next thing only to get tired and burnt out. You can take it slow and know that you'll have much more energy reaching that same checkpoint just a little bit later, and you'll take that momentum and go further, further, and further. So enough about all that. I don't want to overwhelm anybody today. These episodes are short for a reason. They're short because I know watching something every single day, especially if it's that long, eventually people won't do it. And that's not the point. It's not the point to overwhelm anyone. It's meant to just be a quick reminder, a little insight. I want to prime your brain in a way that when you watch something else or you just go out into the world, it makes sense just a little bit differently. You see something you wouldn't normally see. That's my goal. That's my purpose. I just want to give this daily download, this little insight. What you do with that is up to you, not me. So my hope is that you got something out of today, or you will get something out of today. You'll take it, you'll run, you'll grow, and maybe tomorrow will look just a little bit different because of that. Whatever happens, happens. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to roll with the punches and be able to take everything head on, face value. And eventually, you'll notice the trend of just your life getting a little bit happier, filled with a bit more love and a lot less fear. So until next time, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Remember to always fill up with the love. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.